Greetings, friends. I have returned. So, let's start out with the diet update. I weighed myself this morning. I'm 163.4. The same exact weight I was yesterday. Not exactly sure what happened. I guess it could just be that my body's hanging on to some water weight. Either that or, I don't know, maybe I didn't do enough strenuous exercise. Either way, that's the weight. Now, let us move on to the food that was eaten today. So, in the morning, I had the rest of the Rebel ice cream, coffee with chocolate in it, with a bit of whipped cream on top. It was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. Then, before leaving for work this morning, I had 2 fried over easy eggs on 2 keto toasts, as well as 3 slices of bacon, fried. I enjoyed it quite good. I even had a cup of coffee. I actually had like 3 cups of coffee. One with the coffee ice cream with the whipped cream, one just by itself, and one with my breakfast. All right, what did I have for lunch? Well, I'll tell you what I had for lunch. When I arrived, my mom wanted to make a sort of stir fry using the ground chicken we had in our fridge that we hadn't cooked yet, as well as some bell peppers and onions, yes, and mushrooms that we had recently purchased from the grocery store. So I chopped up the mushrooms, my mom chopped up the bell peppers and the onions, and she cooked everything in a wok, mixed it well, and we had ourselves a nice meal. Plenty of protein and vegetables. Very good. With that meal, I had some water, and I also had a can of the strawberry flavored carbonated water with the aspartame in it that my sister allowed me from Walmart. And now on to the final batch of things eaten. Here's what they were. Oh, I also almost forgot to mention that my mom and sister from the grocery store, they got these snacks that were green beans, like fried green beans. And I checked the ingredients, and while it does have a thin layer of rice that they put on them, probably to help them get a crisp texture overall, what I found interesting was that they overall have a net total of 12 grams of carbohydrates. If you have 22 of the chips, of the green bean chips. So I just split that in half, and we were in the ballpark of 6 grams of carbohydrates, and I thought, well, that'll do, so I had that. All right, now we can move on to what was eaten in the last part of the day. When I arrived home, I had myself a carbonated water and kiwi sweetened with aspartame beverage from my job. But I gotta be honest, I wasn't too crazy about this one. It tasted kind of generic to me. I also had some tea, sleepy time, with what was this? The sweetener, I get allulose with monk fruit, and a little bit of pumpkin spice mixed in there, and some filtered milk. Very good. I wanted to be a little naughty, so I got 1 of those green bean chips. Only 1. No more, no less. And the last thing I ate today, because I felt like I wanted some... Oh, and I forgot to mention, with the tea, I had some peppermint chalk zero chocolate. And then the final thing I ate today was 4 strawberries with 0 sugar whipped cream on top, which I quite enjoyed. And finally, vitamins. Those are the things that I consumed and ate today. Pretty good. Not bad. Stayed within the recommended dietary restraints. All right. Any exercise? Does walking around at work count? Because that's what I did. A whole lot of walking. All right. Well, let's move on to the daily update portion. Well, I wanted to try to follow my schedule that I wrote out last night, but I didn't really do that. Instead, I'll read to you what happened, really. So, at 6:30 a.m., I woke up, I used the restroom, and then I immediately went back to sleep. Then at 9:30 a.m., I woke up again. I made coffee. I got out the ice cream, the keto ice cream Rebel, which apparently needs to thaw for like 5 to 10 minutes, but I gave it 15 because I wanted it as creamy as it could get. And then I sat and watched TV, specifically the Digital Foundry Direct at 1.5x speed. At 9:45 a.m., I got the thawed ice cream. I scooped up the rest of the pint out that I didn't eat from yesterday into a bowl, and I put 0 sugar whipped cream on, and I ate while continuing to watch the Digital Foundry Direct. At 10:40, I needed to use the restroom due to the keto ice cream, and that caused me to be in there for a while, like 30 minutes. Then, around 11:10, I finished watching Digital Foundry Direct. Then I watched a short film I was working on, which is the adaptation of the 8-bit video game Mother for the NES. And I thought, yeah, this is coming along pretty smoothly, but I don't want to spend any more money or time on it than I already have. At least for another month, I feel like I need a break on that. At 11:25 a.m., I watched a vlog that I recorded from yesterday as an act of self-reflection and trying to understand what was going on in my life at that point. And then at 11:40 a.m., I recorded a log of activities I did in the morning, which is exactly what I'm reading to you right now. Well, there you go. If you remember what I read out previously, you'd probably understand that I only really did 20 to 30% of anything that I said I wanted to do in that statement from yesterday. But I have a new plan. Immediately after recording everything I actually did, I thought, okay, maybe I just overcomplicated things. Maybe I just need just a quick 1, 2, 3 solution where it's just, all right, I do this and I'm ready to go for the day. So I thought, keep it simple and then give it some flexibility. So I gave myself 3 things to do. Wake up at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow, full body stretch to keep every part of the body functioning well, and then meditate for 10 minutes. And then after completion, write down a self-reflection and game plan for the rest of the day. I'm feeling like I'm lacking direction in my life right now, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm feeling like trying to have some sort of structured morning routine that gets me excited to wake up in the morning and get things done would be extremely helpful and much needed. So that's why I'm trying to figure that out right now. Hopefully I do those things tomorrow. If I don't, you'll find out tomorrow. That's another reason why I make these, to help keep myself accountable in some way, shape, or form. All right, well, after I was done, writing everything down, I was very hungry. So I made myself breakfast, and as I was making breakfast, I was listening to a podcast from the YouTube channel Diary of a CEO, where a Christian, a spiritual man, and an atheist all sit together at a round table to discuss their beliefs and try to understand each other. I thought that subject just sounded so fascinating and interesting to me. I really like it when people are challenging their beliefs to really see how strong their faith and what they believe is. And I just think it's super interesting, the discussions that come from that. Now, I was only able to get like 13 minutes in before my mom arrived, and I was nearing my completion of eating my breakfast, which was very good with the eggs, the keto toast, and the bacon. And she was asking what I was doing, and I told her what I was doing, and then she thought that video idea was pretty interesting, that I was listening to, and I agreed. And we talked a bit, and, had a nice chat. And then afterwards, I remember my sister woke up and I greeted her. My mom wanted to make breakfast for her and my sister. She knew I already ate, so she didn't offer. And I needed to take a shower. So I got into the shower. I showered for like 10 minutes. And when I got out, I immediately got dressed. I said goodbye to my mom and my sister, and I left for work. Now, when I got to work, I would say that today was all right at work. I wouldn't say it was too crazy, other than the end, but we'll get there. Yeah, it was the first 2 hours was just simply bagging and helping customers out while taking deliveries outside. The third hour, from what I can recall, was doing lot, and the person who was supposed to do lot for the fourth hour didn't show up, so I took their lot for that hour as well, which I didn't mind because I actually do like lot. It gives me some self-reflective and, meditative time while pushing carts to kind of, really self-therapize, or is that even a word? I don't know. It's nice to be alone and have some me time is what I'm trying to say. Well, anywho, after I was done, I punched out and left for lunch. And I drove home. When I was about to leave, one of my coworkers asked me where I was going, and I told them I was going home to eat lunch, and they were like, all right. So I was like, cool. So I went into my car, I started it up, and I drove all the way home. When I got home, my mom was there, my sister was there, and my mom decided to help me with lunch by making the ground chicken with the, and she wanted my help with the mushrooms, chopping those up. She added bell peppers, chopped bell peppers, and onions in there too. And a bit of homemade chili she made. And overall, I'd say it was a really, really good lunch, and I very much enjoyed it. My sister declined to eat because she didn't want to, she already ate. I did notice that I was told by my mom that she and my sister went to the grocery store to pick up food, and so the fridge was loaded up with lots of fresh food for the week, so that was cool to see. I really liked that. And I really liked the meal, and we had a good time. After we're done eating, and we discussed a few things with ChatGPT, such as, is it true that if you go to bed like fasting for a period of time, you will burn through your fat faster? And basically ChatGPT said, no, not really. That's like a myth. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess not. Because I was telling my mom that, but I wanted to make sure, and I guess ChatGPT says it isn't real. Or not exactly. Like, there's some. It's more about what you eat and how often you eat it versus, like, what exact times and before you go to sleep and things like that. All right. Well, after I was done, I said goodbye to my mom and my sister, and I drove back to work. And oh, I almost forgot to mention, on my way home and on my way to work, I was listening to the debate between the Christian, the spiritual believer, and the atheist. Pretty interesting, conversations they were having. I honestly couldn't really do it justice. I'd prefer to refer anyone who's interested to go to the Diary of the CEO channel, find the one where it's Christian versus spiritual thinker versus atheist, and it's like that paperclip problem on the thumbnail, and just click on that so you can make up your own mind, because I don't want to misconstrue their words or say something that maybe like could be seen in the wrong light if not viewed through a more objective lens by going to the source. All right, well, after I got out of my car and punched back in, the first hour I was on sweeps, and most of the time I was in the front bagging, but I was able to punch in my sweeps on time. And then the second hour, it was just front end. But since all the front end bagging stations were taken, I decided, since I was one of the closers today, to use that time to take out the trash, because I was assigned trash duty, as well as refilling bags in the check stands. So I took out all the trash, the front end, the bathrooms, and the other, all the trash. Well, not all, but most of it. I didn't take out any trash that I didn't need to take out, where it wasn't completely full. It still could be filled quite a bit. So that one I had left alone. And I put it all on a little U-boat, and I needed help opening the gate, so I asked for help from one of my managers. He opened the gate for me. That was really cool of him. Thank you very much. And then I brought the trash down. I opened the trash. There was like a blue thing sticking out. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like a stool or a box or something. It was like plastic, but I poked that in with a little stick I brought with me, and I lifted open the trash lids with that stick I brought with me, and I threw the trash in, closed the lids up, brought it in, and I brought the bags up to the front, and I was refilling each station. But at that point in time, it was my turn to go on lot. I was given lot for the next 2 hours, so I was able to do that job for shifting from filling bags to bagging for the customers to doing lot. And that was pretty much it for the last hour. And that hour and the last hour, I also had to alternate by wiping down check stands 8 through 5. So those were all my duties. And I was able to get a little bit of extra time in, thanks to my manager, to finish up filling the check stands 3 and 4 for bags. And then I punched out. I grabbed a beverage, and I was about to buy my drink, and then something crazy happened. Basically what happened was that there was a shoplifter in the store who looked to be a homeless person in their late 30s, and the manager noticed this and stopped them for stealing, but the guy got real violent with him, so the manager got him pinned down to stop him. and he wanted me to call the cops. So I called the cops. I told them the whole situation. They came. As they came, I described everything going on beat for beat on the phone to the officer while everything was happening out in the front. Yeah, the 2 cars came in. They brought the guy into the cars, and my manager thanked me for helping out. So yeah, that was good. That we were able to keep the peace and stop any craziness from going on, but the whole process took like a good 20 minutes. I was even asked to get one of our workers to come into the front to help with bringing people up for their groceries. Yeah, never wasn't expecting such drama to happen on my way out, but there you go. All right, well, I left. I fist bumped every one of my coworkers that was in the front and my manager, and I left, and I drove back home while continuing to listen to that interesting podcast. When I got back there, my mom was watching TV. I greeted her. She wanted tea, so I made tea for me and her. And I got some of the Chalk Zero chocolate out. We had that while we were watching what we wanted to watch. And after we were done, we were pretty tired, so we said good night to each other. And then I realized I had taken my vitamins, so I sneaked in a little bit of a green bean crisp, and then just one, and then took my vitamins, and I realized I need to do the trash because it's trash night tonight. So went out, took the trashes out, brought them to the front. I threw the bathroom trashes in. I waved hi to my sister because she was out there, and then as I was doing this, I was listening to this guy talk about a endless energy device he's working on. Limitless Technologies, I think, is the name of the YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, it's a guy trying to make 0-point energy. Pretty cool. And then after that, I brushed my teeth, and then I recorded this video. That's pretty much how the day went. So overall, I'd say I was fairly okay with today. I didn't much care for all the crazy drama that was happening by the end. I would have preferred peace, always prefer peace, but sometimes you gotta, stand up for yourself and protect, the safety of the store and keep the peace. In order to do that, you gotta, have some self-defense. So yeah, entirely necessary. Absolutely. Well, thank you for watching. Oh, I dropped this my off button. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next video, and have a good one. Goodbye.